Dear students, in the previous lectures we have talked about the flip-flop, which is the basic memory element. It can store a single bit, either 0 or 1. We have seen RS latch and RS flip-flop. It's working. Now I hope you understand how the working of a flip-flop or what is a flip-flop. Now there are different types of flip-flops depending upon their applications. We have talked about RS latch. The basic difference between a latch and a flip-flop is a gating or the clocking mechanism. In the latch we don't have any clocking mechanism, but in the flip-flop we have a gating mechanism. Either it can be clocked or it can be edge triggered, positive or negative edge triggered. We will talk about the type of triggering and clocking later on in this class. So let us say with the types of different flip-flops. One flip-flop already we have covered, that is RS flip-flop. It means set reset flip-flop. If set S input is 1, the output is 1. If set input is 0, the output is reset. That's why it is known as set reset flip-flop. When both the inputs are 0 for RS flip-flop, then the no change in the output is obtained. That is the previous condition, previous output is obtained. And when both the inputs are 1 1, in this case the indeterminate state is obtained. So to avoid this indeterminate state, we can have another flip-flop called D flip-flop. This is normally used in counters and shift registers. You can see the circuit of a D flip-flop. Here we have got only one input D. There is no other input along with the clock signal. Now we are talking about flip-flop. It must be the gated structure. So a NAND latch, in the second part you can observe a NAND latch, and in the first part you can observe the D input with a gated structure. This is the D input, this is the clock signal, this is the inverted 1, and whatever the input is given, it is obtained at the output. See, you can see the truth table. When the clock is high, this clock is high means this up down up arrow denotes, represents the high clock, and the down arrow represents the low clock or no clock. So when the input 0 is applied at the input D, at the output 0 is obtained. At the input, when 1 bit is applied, output also shifts to 1. When the clock is 0, whatever input is given, no change in the state, output state is obtained. The symbol of D flip-flop is, this is D input, this is clock input, preset and clear inputs Q and Q1. Now what about this preset and clear? Some computers or some circuit require that the flip-flop must be already in the set position. In this condition we use preset signal. If 0 is applied, the circuit is preset, and if we want to reset the circuit, the data is cleared, we have to apply the clear circuit, clear signal. So we have seen the D flip-flop. In this D flip-flop, the output changes only at the clock edge, and if the input changes at the other times, the output will be unaffected, no change will be occurred. There is another flip-flop known as JK flip-flop, which avoids this indeterminate condition. Indeterminate condition means in the RS flip-flop, when both the inputs R and S are 1, we obtain indeterminate condition at the output. It means both the output Q and Q bar become 1, which is not at all possible. So this is known as indeterminate state. Now we come to JK flip-flop. As we have said that to avoid the indeterminate state, JK flip-flop is used. Let us see the circuit of JK flip-flop. You can see the JK flip-flop circuit and the symbol of JK flip-flop. Here now instead of R and S input, we are using J and K. Here this is J input, this is K input, and it is again the clocked or the gated mechanism. This is again the NAND latch, and see the third one input is J, one input is clock, and the third input is connected with the QN bar. Similarly, in the second gate of the input second gate, one input is K, another is clock, and the third one is connected to the output Q. So the symbol is J, K, clock, then preset, clear, Q and Q bar. The role of preset and clear is same as we have seen in the D flip-flop symbol. So let us see what are different conditions of input. See, if J and K both the inputs are 0, no change in the output is observed. This working of this latch already we have discussed in the RS latch. So when J is 0 and K is 0, at the output no change will be observed. When J is 0 and K is 1, the output is equal to J, that is 0. Means in every condition except J1, K1, the output is equal to J. When J is 0 and K is 0, the output is equal to J, that is 1. When J is 1 and K is 1, we don't get any indeterminate condition, but the output toggles from one state to another. What is the meaning of toggling here? That if the previous output state is 1, then its value toggles from 1 to 0. If it is 0, it toggles from 0 to 1. This is known as toggling. So we said that this is a toggle condition. So in the truth table, you can see that when the clock is high, then only circuit will work. If clock is low, then the circuit will not respond to the input. So no change or the previous state is only obtained. So let us see, J is 0 and K is 0. No change is observed when the clock is high. J is 0, K is 1. Output is equal to 0. When J is 1, K is 0. Output is equal to 1. When both inputs are 1 along with the clock high, then the toggle condition is obtained. That is the changing of output state from 1 to 0 or 0 to 1. So this flip-flop avoids the indeterminate condition. But here what happens when toggling more than once occurs? So whenever the clock pulse width is too much as compared to propagation delay time, then the toggling more than once occurs, which leads to the race around condition in the JK flip-flop. So to avoid this race around condition, either JK master slave flip-flop is used or the edge triggered flip-flop is used. We will see what is level clocking, edge triggering later on after studying all the circuits. So this was about the JK flip-flop, and we have seen this race around condition, or this is also known as the racing condition. So let us see how this racing condition can be avoided. We can use T flip-flop. This is another type of flip-flop, toggle flip-flop. It is a single input version of the JK flip-flop. So these circuits is known as T flip-flop because of their ability to complement its state. It means it toggles. That's why it is known as toggle flip-flop. There are two circuits we have shown for toggle flip-flop, T flip-flop. One is with the NOR latch, another is with the NAND latch. This one is with the NOR latch. You can see here the NOR latch, and this is second one is with the NAND latch, and its output, or we can say the truth table for JK toggle flip-flop is this. When toggle is 0, previous state was 0, then next state is 0. When the toggle input is 0, if previous state is 1, then next state also 1. Means if T is 0, no change at the output is obtained. When toggle is 1, if the previous state was 0, the next state will become 1, means toggling from 0 to 1 will occur. When toggle input is 1, if the previous state is 1, then toggling from 1 to 0 will occur, so the next state will be 0. This is known as the working of toggling flip-flop. This toggle condition can also be avoided in the JK flip-flop. We will see later on JK flip-flop. Let us see what are the different types of clocking. So we come to level clocking. Let us see. Level clocking is nothing but we apply a clock pulse at the input of the circuit. This is used for the synchronization purpose, means all the stages in the circuit will change their state at the same time, so that a synchronization will be there among the different parts of the circuit. So clock pulse is nothing but a square pulse with having high and low logic. You can see we have written here, this is 1, means this is high, so it represents logic 1. When we say clock is high, it is this mark, and this is when clock is low, it is representing space. This is low, clock low. Now the another one, as we have said, that this racing condition can be avoided if we apply edge triggered, so that the toggling cannot be done. Toggling more than once in this duration is known as racing. So to avoid racing, if we reduce this pulse width, then what will happen? So best way is to apply the edge trigger. So edge trigger means, edge means this is the edge of the clock pulse. This is the edge of the clock pulse. Either positive edge is going from low to high, and negative edge means going from high to low. This is positive transition, this is negative transition. So this is called, from low to high transition when occurs, it is known as positive edge triggered. When the transition occurs from high level to low level, it is known as negative edge triggered transition. So now we can see this edge triggering can be very important in the flip-flop circuits. Now let us see JK master slave flip-flop. In this flip-flop, the racing condition of JK flip-flop is avoided. Now the symbol of the JK flip-flop is similar to that of the master slave JK flip-flop. You can see that this is the symbol of JK flip-flop. This J input, K input, Q and Q bar, and similar is the symbol of JK master slave flip-flop. You can see the circuit of JK master slave flip-flop. This is nothing but our slave and this is master. Whatever master does, slave follows. Is this clear? This clock is positive, then this clock is negative. At the positive edge, the master will work, and at the negative edge of the clock pulse, the slave will work. And here the toggling condition is avoided. It means while the clock is high, the master is active and the slave is inactive. While clock is low, master is inactive and slave is active. So this was all about the types of the flip-flop. My question is how the transition of flip-flop is possible. Is it possible the transition of RS flip-flop to JK flip-flop? We have seen transition of JK flip-flop to T flip-flop. Can you perform transition of RS flip-flop to D flip-flop and RS flip-flop to JK flip-flop? So answer the questions in the group. In case any problem, you can raise your doubt in the group. Thank you.